Hello and welcome to second lecture of economics. Let's start this second. So, first topic of this is production and consumption. So, first you have to know about what is production and what is consumption, and for this we have to deeply study about these two parameters. So first, that there are resources are combined in the process of production to create goods and services. Okay, so basically first thing is that my resources are combined with what? With the production to create goods and services. And goods and services has a capacity to satisfy wants. So my wants are always satisfied by my services and goods. Okay. So the process through which individuals uses of goods and services to satisfy want is known as consumption. So this is the definition of consumption. So I have to highlight it. So this one is the basically this one is the consumption. Okay, this is the definition of consumption. So what the consumption is? The process through which individual use of goods and services, okay, to satisfy wants is known as consumption. Some goods such as chocolate bars are quickly used to satisfy our wants. Other things satisfy wants over a longer period. So these are called customer durables. Okay. So these are known as customer durable. Example of customer durable include television sets, refrigerators, and vehicles. This is about the uh, consumption and production. So the next is the basic difference between production and consumption is the first is the process basically. It is the process of creating goods and services in economy. So this is known as production. And the process by which consumers satisfy their want is known as consumption. So there are quite difference between production and consumption. Production is basically the process of creating goods. Okay, and consumption is the process by which consumer satisfies their need. Okay, so this is about product. Now, unlimited wants. Basically, moving toward unlimited wants. All of this points to the fact that we have never imagined a time when all our wants are satisfied. So neither our all the wants will be satisfied. Okay, so we have to choose a balance between limited and unlimited wants. Okay, so uh, the true cost, just a minute, I have to go back. Yes, unlimited. All of these points are the facts that never be imagined at what our wants are satisfied. Our wants are continuously expanding and changing. Despite the fact that we are continuously finding new and more efficient ways to produce more and more goods and services with the resources available to us. Okay, as stated earlier, this is sometimes called the problem of scarcity, and as a result, we have to make choices. This is my unlimited wants, and because my unlimited wants are always increasing, and this is expanding day by day, so there will be no basically restriction regarding my unlimited wants. So choice and opportunity cost. Given limited resources and unlimited wants, we have to choose what wants to satisfy. So we have to balance it. So what basically are the wants for the satisfaction? The true cost of a choice we make between alternatives is expressed by economists through the notion of opportunity cost. This looks at the cost of the choice in the term best alternative for one. Okay, so this is about choice and opportunity cost. For example, suppose we, you were giving a $15 gift voucher for your birthday. You could either buy a new DVD that cost $15 or two paperback book for $7.5 each. It is clear that you would not have the DVD and the books. The opportunity cost of DVD, therefore, is the two paperback books. The value of the concept of opportunity cost is that it brings home to us the real cost of our choices. So this is the value of the basically real cost of our choice. It can be applied in the variety of the content context in the economy, and is basically helpful for economic decision making and such as household, firms, and governments. So opportunity basically the cost expressed in terms of best alternative that is given, that is forward. So this is known as opportunity cost. Okay. So basic questions. Basic question in economy are basically three basic questions. How many? Three basic questions. That is WHW. What is mean by WHW? So first W is what to produce basically. Second is how to produce, and W, this W is by whom you can, for whom you can produce. Okay, so this is the three basic questions to answer it. So first we have to answer what to produce. So what to produce? So because we cannot produce everything. Okay, so this is the limitation that we cannot produce everything. We need to decide what to produce and in what quantities. So we have to choose, for example, whether to produce lots of goods and services such as food, clothing, and vehicles to improve our standard of living, or whether we need to produce lots of military hardwares to improve our defense. So it depends on you that what you want to produce. Okay. Now the second is how to produce. So how to produce, this question arises since resources are scarce in the relation to unlimited ones. We need to consider how resources are used so that the best outcome arises. Okay, so what basically the result is that we have to relate with our best outcome. Okay, so we need to consider how we can get the maximum use out of these resources available. Let's go for example that the through cheap labor we could produce more goods and services in an economy, but there is a moral objection to such arrangement. Similarly, crop yields could be increased through the production of generally modified plants, but this is may lead to damage the ecosystem. So the decision to maximize output and satisfy more wants would need to consider the full impact on the environment and any potential long-term health risks. Okay, so this is how to produce. For home to produce basically, because we cannot satisfy all wants of our population. Okay, so decision we have to taken that we have to basically we have to or that our production will satisfy the certain needs or the man needs. Okay, so on a broad level we need to discuss whether everyone is going to have a more or less share. This will be discussed will be discussed later. Basically economy ideas and resources allocation is produce, or whether some will have more than others. In some economies, there are deliberate attempts to create a more egalitarian society through policies that redistributes wealth and income from the rich to the poor. This could be achieved through progressive taxation system. In other economies, there are no such policies, and inequalities of income and wealth, often based upon inheritance, remain extreme. As an issue, it has become very significant in most emerging economies, which is widening gap between rich and poor. So this is for home to produce. Okay. So these are the basic three questions that we have to answer it. So if we can meet in the next lecture, hopefully, inshallah. So that's it from today's lecture.